Hey friends, what's good? Welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? If you are here, you are probably a coach, you are a course creator, and you have reached a break point. You are doing one on one work, you are seeing results for your clients, but it is really coming at a cost of your peace, of your energy, of your personal life. Like your calendar is packed, you are working late nights, even on the weekends, and even though you are working harder than ever, it still feels like you are chasing money. And you are at this point where you are like, okay, enough is enough. I need to change. And let's be honest, you know that this path is not sustainable for you at all. You know that. You feel it in your body, you don't feel the alignment. There is fatigue, there is the pressure, there is the resentment now when it comes to your coaching business. So you know that you didn't leave your 9 to 5 to work 16 hours a day in your coaching business. So what I want to do today at the end of this video, I will show you the messaging shifts you need to make to go from one-on-one burnt out into selling out your scalable and high leverage group program without sacrificing the results or the client experience. So, if you're ready, grab your pen and paper and let's get into the first shift that you need to make because you have to go now from time based selling to framework based selling. So, when you are selling one on one coaching, your offer is often centered around your time, right? You are selling the access to you. You are trading time for money. So the value is positioned around how much time someone gets with you, right? How many calls, how often you would check in, how personalized the coaching support is. But here is the problem. So when you sell your time, you create a business that depends entirely on your availability and on your energy. And there is no scale in that. There is no freedom. That is how you build your business. That is maybe how you got your first clients. You scaled your business to 5 figure months. And every client now means more time out of your week. And eventually you max out, which is the case right now. So that is the time-based selling that you did in order to get the clients, in order to, get better at coaching your clients, get good at creating concepts and frameworks because you create the best concepts and best frameworks within the one-on-one coaching container. But frame based selling is the shift into creating value around your process, your method, the concepts you have created, the use system, and your intellectual property. That is framework based selling. So instead of the promise being like, you will get one on one coaching every single week from me, the promise becomes you will get a repeatable method that gets you the results. And everyone wants a business that is simple, that is scalable, and that is repeatable. So you start to see, especially when you work with 10, 15 one-on-one clients and you work with one-on-one clients, you know that you are repeating some stuff over and over again in every one-on-one call, right? That's why you go from time-based selling, your one-on-one coaching, into group by selling your methods, your systems, your intellectual property, your point of view. So this is what will create scalability. When you start to document your proven process, what you are doing in every single coaching session with every one on one client, you document that. That is what you're going to take in order to scale your business. Because now your value is not tied to how much of you they are getting, but how well your process works. How well did your work process worked for the past clients? How many of these clients got the results you promised, right? How well did they get the results in a faster way, in an easier way? That is why people buy. A person buys their coaching program because you make it very simple to get to the results in a fast way, in a simple way, in the most fun way. So clients join because they believe in your system. They see the client testimonials, they see how you work, they see your thought process because you start to communicate that in your messaging. And they start to believe in your system, not just your presence. That is how, over the time, you can go back with coaching your clients weekly, and you can start to hire team members who can then do your weekly coachings. But in order to get there, you have to have good systems in place where your clients get the best results. And that belief allows you to serve more people at once without diluting the value, because you stop selling your presence. So this is also where you start to change how you are speaking about your offer. So you are no longer explaining what is included, you are actually showcasing the results your process is designed to deliver and why it works, right? And this is the foundation of creating a scalable and a freedom-based business, that your process will actually deliver the results you are promising. And this is the first shift you need to make, to go from time based selling to your intellectual property selling. So, when most coaches launch their group offer, they talk about what is inside. And this is why they are not able to continue to sell their offer over and over again. They talk about how many calls they get, what platform it is hosted, is it on Kajabi, on School, on Facebook, if there are bonus modules, if they have Slack access. That is the format of the program, right? That is what most coaches have when they are running a group program. So why are you unique? So why those things really matter, it is important to know the logistical side of your business. That is not why people buy. That is not what is actually selling for you. That is not how you actually make someone to book a call with you or to actually purchase your offer. Clients don't buy logistics. They don't buy the format. They buy the future version of themselves that your program helps them to become. Is your program, is your messaging talking about the future version of themselves that your program helps them to become? Or are you still talking a lot about the pain they are having and your marketing is pain point driven? So, this shift is about making your messaging transformational instead of only being informational, because your audience is not choosing between how many calls they are getting. They don't care about that. They are choosing between what kind of life and business they want. And you need to know that and start to include that in your offer and in your messaging. Because when you sell transformation, that means every time you write content, every time you do a live video, you talk about your program, you are making it crystal clear how their life would change dramatically, drastically. Are you helping them to go away from burnout? Are you helping them to avoid fatigue? Are you helping them to create content that makes business fun again? Are you helping them to love the body because they know how to lose 20 pounds? What is it that you help them to change their life? And not just in big, like I help you to have more confidence or more money. That is still too generic. That is too vague. Everyone is promising that. You want to stand out. I want you to be very specific. What is no longer going to be a problem in their life because of this problem? This is the value creation you are doing. What decision will feel easier for them? What habits will shift? What pain points will finally be solved that they're experiencing for 2 years, 3 years? So when your messaging becomes transformation centered, people feel connected, people feel hopeful, and people feel empowered. And I don't know about you, I love to consume content from people where I feel like this is so possible for me, because their messaging helps me to see what is possible. And because it's not the motivation, it's more like inspired to take actions, I'm more likely to invest in this coach's content, right? Because your clients, they want to feel connected with you, they want to feel hopeful, and they want to feel empowered to take the next action, which is coming into your program. So they don't just want to see your offer all the time, they want to see themselves in the results. That's what gets them to say yes in your sales call. That is how you're going to start creating content that helps you to have a higher sales conversion on your sales call or in the DMs, right? Because you help them to be empowered, so that they're going to say yes because they feel hopeful that your system, your process is going to get them the transformation you promise. So when you're selling one-on-one, right now, your messaging can afford to be very flexible and vague because you are actually cleaning it up in the DMs, right? Or on a sales call. Means you have the time to actually talk to the person in front, and you're going to actually speak to this one person in order to close them. But when you shift into a scalable group model, you need your messaging to pre-qualify clients at a scale, especially when you are at a point where you are um, onboarding 20 clients at once or 30 clients at once in this program. That means your language and the words you need to use has to work without you being there to explain them. And that's why I love live video. I love creating live video content because it is so easy for me to explain at one sitting what I am doing, why I'm doing it, and who is this for, what problem am I solving, without me being there and explaining it to every single person. So this is where so many coaches hit a wall because the way they have been talking about the work no longer converts. So maybe you launched a group offer before and it wasn't a very success, right? It was because your messaging was maybe too general, too unclear, too focused on helping everyone. So the key to scale your messaging is to be very specific. And your program is specific as well because you are helping all those clients to get this one outcome, right? And you need to talk in your messaging how they are thinking. What are they thinking? Is this thinking helping them to become the best version of themselves and to get the next results? What are they experiencing? What are they avoiding? What are they trying to fix? So when in your messaging you are really talking about the psychological stuff. That's why when you are selling a group offer that is more than 3,000, 5,000, you go deep into sales psychology. You go deep into talking how someone is thinking, why they are thinking like this, and what is this causing them, and why they are stuck, and what they need to do in order to move forward. So your message has to call out the current state your ideal client is in and show them the specific future that they want. So it needs to do that very clearly. You need to do that very consistently and very confidently in your messaging without you having to jump into 15 different sales conversation to explain what the offer is. Your content, your messaging should already do the heavy lifting of sales for you if you want to run a business that is more marketing focused, where people are coming to you and you are not doing cold DMs, you are not doing cold calling, right? You want your messaging, your content to be in a place where the ideal client is deciding, is this the offer for me? Am I ready for my next step? Am I ready for my next level? Right? So the more precise your messaging is, the more effortless your sales process becomes. So I am a huge believer that your sales process doesn't start on a sales call. It already started when the ideal client started to consume your content. So you will start to hear people say, I feel like you were talking to me. I even had people saying to me, like, do you have a camera inside my house? Like, how do you know that I am thinking like this? And this, like, when you start to get like these type of like messages in the DMs or on a sales call, you know that your messaging is finally working at a scale. This is the proof that you need that your messaging is talking to the right people. So now let's talk about energy. Okay, this is, it's really a big one of the biggest invisible shifts that you will need to make if you go from burnt out, overworked one-on-one coach into like launching your group offer and scaling it to having multiple clients inside this container. So in the one-on-one space, many coaches operate from what I call helper energy, right? You want to prove your value, right? You are in the stage where you want to be there for your clients, you want to be flexible, you want to be nurturing, and that often leads to over functioning, but also being a people pleaser, to be honest. And I know this because it used to be me. Um, it used to be me in my one-on-one coaching practice as well. So you end up carrying their results on your back. Oh, this is so deep. You take responsibility for their pace, you take responsibility for their mindset, for their action. When they don't message you back, you will question, like, oh my God, are they really doing the work, or is something broken within my process? And while that might feel supported, it actually just empowers both of you and your clients. You are building a codependency relationship right now without you realizing it. So because you are telling this client that they are not capable to do running their business on their own. They hired you as their one-on-one coach because you have the strategies, you are actually helping them, guiding them to get the results, right? But when you start to take their responsibility on your back, now it gives out the energy that they cannot do it on their own. That's why they constantly come to you for small things, to ask for permission to do the next step. But when you step into a group model, a scalable group model program, right, you shift into the authority energy. No force, not ego, but in your grounded leadership. Because authority energy means that you lead with clarity. And this clarity comes from you having a documented process, like you having a curriculum, because you don't over explain, you don't overprove, you trust the process. You show up with certainty because you know that your method works. You know that you created the methods because you worked with one-on-one clients before, and based on that, um, you created the curriculum, right? And you are holding space for the client to rise into their power, not to depend on yours. So, in your messaging, this looks like confidence. You are not begging people to join your program. You are not lowering the price. If you say it's 5K, it's 5K. You are not offering discounts just to fill more people inside the program. So you are communicating from a place of grounded expertise because you know and you are so certain, I freaking love this program. This program works. Here is how. Here is who it is for. And let me know when you are ready. Right? And this is the energy that you need to put into your messaging as well. That's the kind of energy that attracts powerful clients, clients who are ready to move, ready to do the work, ready to actually be led. They want to trust you. But now the question is, do you trust them as well? You become trustworthy when you lead yourself first. This is so important, my friends. And the last shift is a big shift to create like long-term peace in your business, right? So when you are in burnt out mode right now, your messaging starts to carry the energy of neediness, right? You are posting out of fear. You are thinking, I need a client today. I hope someone books a call with me, and I don't want to have another dry month. And because of that, the truth is your audience can feel it. Even if you're smiling on video, that energy leaks out. It creates pressure, but not the desire that you need in order to get the business rolling. So when you transition into group offers, your business needs to shift into attraction based messaging. That means you are no longer trying to get any client. You are calling in aligned, self led, committed clients who are already sold on the transformation because that is your messaging doing. And they are simply looking for the right leader and the right process. And the right leader also means, are you talking about your values, about your identity as the leader in your messaging as well, right? There are so many business coaches out there. Why should someone come into my world? Because I have some type of values that some other business coaches don't have. I have some type of identity that I am embodying that some other business coaches don't have. And this is attraction based marketing. So when you create an attraction based messaging, that means your content shows proof, it shows clarity, it shows your belief, it shows your vision, the whole vision of your company. So it speaks directly to the values and to the desires of your ideal client, of your dream client. without over explaining, without convincing, or without being pushy. All these things are the reason why then sales feels sleazy or pushy or whatever, right? But if your messaging is rooted into power, you are not reacting when you are not closing one week a client. You are creating from clarity and you are in the overflow energy. So, this is where your dream clients come pre sold, excited, and they are ready to pay you in full. Not because you convince them, but your messaging helped them to see themselves in your offer. They see themselves in the future version by going through your program, by being in your container, but by being in your group offer. So these shifts aren't just messaging tactics, my friends. They are also mindset shifts and identity shifts you need to go through. They require you to step into a new version of yourself. So this means you are not just a helper anymore. You are a leader. You are not just a coach. You become the creator of a proven and transformative experience that your ideal clients would start to experience. And once your messaging starts to reflect that in the industry, that is when the right people will come and the right people will actually be pre-sold and excited to work with you. So your group offer deserves to sell out. It starts with your messaging, right? And your clients, they also deserve to be supported in a scalable way, in a trusted way as well. So you have to build a business that honors your time, your energy, and your vision. And the next step is not being stuck in this burnout, in this overworked one-on-one coaching energy. It's actually you being ready, deciding that you are ready to take that one-on-one expertise and turn it into a scalable group offer. So let this video be the moment for you to decide that no more burning out for bigger results. It's actually time for you to build a business that scales with you, not at your expense. So I hope this helped you to shift your messaging to see what you need in order to launch your group offer, but also have a messaging that continues to actually sell your group program, because you are ready to go from one-on-one into having a scalable group program. If this talked to you and you feel resonated with your current state, where you are trapped, where you are stuck, and you know that this business is costing you peace, energy, and time, which are resources that won't come back to you and you have to change it today, I want to invite you to book a consultation call with me. The link is in the show notes down below. Click this link, book a call. It's totally for free, which means on the call, we're going to talk about the goals you have. We're going to talk about a customized plan that you need in order to go from one-on-one into launching your high ticket group program, and what you need in order to get your first clients in there. So again, totally for free. And if you're interested, the link is in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being in this community full of coaches, especially like my people of color coaches and consultants. I'm so happy and so honored to serve you and to give you like a repeatable system that you can actually implement in your business to scale your business with simplicity and with peace. Thank you so much for being here, and I talk to you in my next video. Bye.